Hello, I'm Clare Pollard. I'm curator of Japanese art at the Ashmolean Museum. I'd like to introduce you to our current exhibition in Gallery 29, which is called Kabuki Legends. The exhibition features 14 works by the contemporary Japanese print artist Takahashi Hiromitsu, who creates wonderfully colourful, dynamic prints which mostly show scenes from Kabuki theatre. Hiromitsu doesn't do actual portraits of actual Kabuki actors, rather he captures key moments, key roles in Kabuki. The prints recall traditional Japanese ukiyo-e woodblock prints of actors, but they're made with a very different technique, a technique called kappazuri, which is a kind of stencil printing technique. It was originally used for dyeing kimono, but in the mid-20th century it was rediscovered by a textile designer called Serizawa Keisuke, who adapted it and also adapted it for use on paper. The kappazuri stencil process is incredibly complex and labour-intensive and time-consuming, and so it means that only very small additions are possible, very limited editions. Sometimes Hiromitsu creates as few as 5 numbered impressions in a series, and very rarely more than 15. He's one of very, very few artists working in this way today, keeping the kappazuri tradition alive and relevant. So one of my favourite prints in the exhibition is this wonderful diptych showing a very famous encounter from Japanese legend between an 18-year-old noble warrior called Ushiwaka Maru and a ferocious soldier monk called Benkei. Despite his youth, Ushiwaka Maru defeats Benkei using magical fighting powers he's learnt from Tengu mountain demon. The encounter takes place on the Gojo Bridge in Kyoto by moonlight, and Hiromitsu's captured beautifully the sense of a moonlit evening. He uses these very intense, saturated colours. His entire colour palette is very bold and bright, but slightly offbeat, slightly sombre, a bit of edge to them. So I love the way that Hiromitsu's also captured the agility of the young nobleman leaping into the air and the great strength of the giant warrior, and I love the bats. This print is from a series of smaller works showing key moments in very famous Kabuki scenes. And it shows a brigand, a dashing brigand, who's dressed up as a beautiful young woman called BenTen as part of a very complicated plan to steal money from a kimono shop. And the print shows the moment when BenTen's true identity is revealed and BenTen transforms from an elegant, graceful young lady to a swaggering macho man. And Hiromitsu captures perfectly both the feminine and masculine sides of the character. And you can see that the tattoos peeping out of his robe on his arms and his legs. In this fabulous print, the strongman Gennai Zaemon is sitting on top of an elephant. Now this elephant has been given to the Emperor of Japan as a gift from the Emperor of China. But an evil courtier has taken control of the elephant and is commanding it to obey his orders so that he can raise a rebellion against the Emperor. In the Kabuki play, there is a wonderful tug of war between Gennai Zaemon, our hero, and the evil courtier to try and take control of the elephant. Next to me is another print with a fantastic animal, the Cat of Okazaki. This is a scene from a Kabuki play in which a traveller and his wife and baby and a friend take shelter in an abandoned temple where a friendly old woman welcomes them in. But the old woman is in fact an evil cat spirit. In the middle of the night she transforms into a cat and she kills the wife and the friend. And here we have a fantastic depiction of this ferocious evil cat. The prints in the exhibition are all from our own substantial collection of works by Hiromitsu, and they'll be on display until the 4th of February 2024.